Right, so I've got a few items here from Mailbag. Let's get into them. Just the cable. Notice my desk is a bit wet. It's raining. It's a bit dirty. Don't think it's brand new somehow, unless it's been sitting around, but that looks like it's all original, so I don't know, it's a bit dirty. Just a little VGA cable. I think it was 3 metres long for a project I'm working on. Right, let's see what's in here. Feels like saying right up to the edge, so I'm trying to be careful cutting it. I've done that mistake before. Right, a couple of USB extensions. These are USB 2, 3 metres long. Always come in handy. What's in here? Now I'm using my new, or one of my new lights. I've adjusted this focus setting and things like that, so hopefully this video comes out a bit better than the ones I've been doing recently. I'm still using my new camera, which I'm still not 100% convinced is right, or at least right for what I'm doing. So hopefully the video quality is a bit better this time around. It's a lot brighter here. It's about 3 times brighter than it was. So hopefully it fixes the video issue I was having. Now these are high voltage power supplies. Look how wonky that adjustment is on that one compared to this one. Anyway, so these are supposed to generate high voltage DC, I think. If you've got a fan output. There's a DC input here, and there's a output voltage negative, voltage positive, ground. I'm sure that was tingling then. Interesting. Maybe let's do a bit of charge left in a capacitor. It's a plus and minus. That capacitor is rooted. What's the state of that? What's the state of that? I think it might have been squashed. I don't think we're powering that one up straight away. 400 volt 10 UF, yeah, probably or something. Is it JYCDR? I don't know, JYCDR? 105 degree rated though. It's also a plus and minus supply there coming out. Interesting. I'm not quite sure what it's supposed to be doing. And so this one's the same, and that cap's not looking good either. That's looking like it's a bit mounted too. What's the chances of that happening? I wonder if it's got squashed in the post. Just trying to see if there's any other damage. Don't know, but that pin there is not soldered. Yeah. Not soldered. And there was this one. Or that one. Or that one. That's interesting. They might not have any windings going to them anyway. There's no wires going to those pins, that's why I'm worried about it, but mechanically you should still do it because it gives it more robustness. It's just laziness. Oh well, I'll resolder those. But sometimes I'll replace these capacitors. I mean, look at the state of that. So I'm not quite sure what these are rated for now. I don't remember, because there's no information that came with it. I'm going to have to look back through my stuff and try and figure out what the hell they are. But it's my favourite colour. Anyway. But it's also a plus and minus because it's got a plus, minus and a ground. And the ground is going to that top trace in there, I can just see. Plus and minus are going to the... It's going to negative that diode, positive that diode. So it's also switching. Smoothing caps for those outputs. So it is rectified back to DC and smooth, but it's only halfway rectified. You've got DC coming out here, which is going to be halfway plus and minus. I suppose you could put that through a rectifier again and re-rectify it to get a proper single rail supply. But yeah, I'm going to have to replace these caps. I'll power up the supply, which I've got kind of 12 volt supply going to this, and I don't know what output we're going to get, but we'll find out. Let's power it on, and I'll test. I don't know which side's which. That's negative side, I think. I think that's positive side there. Turn it on. It's drawing half an amp. Might be because of that capacitor, which is slightly mounted. Let's just increase this current. Okay, it's 2 amps. Minus 70 volts. Okay. And that one there is plus 67. Right. The supply is jumping up and down. I don't think this capacitor is doing very well. Yeah, it's now saying 2 amps again. Let's just shut the back off. I think there's an issue with this. That cap is really not happy, I think. I probably should have hooked up the other one, which is slightly less damaged. It's probably discharged by now, so look. Yeah. Yeah, it's getting warm. So that's had it, that one. I'll fix that cap and I'll come back. Okay, I've replaced that capacitor. The only one I had was a 4.7 UF, so it's a bit smaller value, but it's a larger size, so I think these capacitors are probably rubbish anyway. I think they're not actually what they're rated at. And now the high current isn't there anymore when I turn it on. So I turn it on, I'm now getting about 20 milliamps instead, which is better. And there you go, minus 71 volts, minus 67, so that's alright. So I might play around with this pot on here now, so I want to make sure it's not live before I touch it with a screwdriver. Shove that in there. And see what it adjusts to. This is the 12 volt input. How high will it go? Whoa, it's looking pretty good. Oh, 391, 392. Okay, it's not bad, is it? And minus 414. Excellent. So you've got 800 volt differential. That's pretty cool. Now, this is actually close to the sort of thing I want. Now, the reason I've actually got these, someone actually suggested them after I've already purchased some. And what they're for is this voltage leakage tester thing, which I'm most of the way through building. I've done all this voltage multiplier stuff here, but it can't handle a lot of current, so I'm getting quite a bit of voltage drop. In a way, not handling the current is quite a good thing, because you don't want to, you know, you want it to be safe. But it's struggling, just it's trying to do a big capacitor. The capacitor's loading down too much, so I'm a bit worried about that being inadequate. So I purchased some of these, thinking, right, I'll have a look at these things and see if these are worth looking at. So that is maxed out. I mean, that's a 450 volt cap I just put in there. So that is like as high as it's going to go. That's on 12 volt. Let's just up the voltage slightly and see if it will go any higher. No, that's it. So it's fixed. Let's just see what the input voltage can be. That's 11 volts there. 12 volts, yeah. 12 volt works better. Cool. So this is a good option for as a circuit for this. Now I actually may well use this instead, because I've not been happy with the multi-multiplier. I mean, it works, but it's limiting me to about 360 volts or so, and the current's very low. So it's okay for medium-sized caps. When you've got quite a large capacitor, so, you've got a capacitor like this, which is high voltage but small value, that's fine. It charges up in a couple of seconds. It's not a problem. But when you've got massive caps, low voltage, big caps, it just takes forever to charge up. It takes like a minute, which is just too long. I'm looking at something which can potentially provide more current, which is what this can do. So it's got a 10 amp fuse on there, which is interesting. Let's just drop this back down again to safe voltage in case I forget or something. I'll probably end up using this in the leakage tester. What's the last thing go down to? As a, this is like as a main supply, main high voltage supply rail. 41 volts is the last that will go. So, okay. Hope you find that piece interesting. Let's see what's in here. That took ages to arrive. Well, I purchased a few of these at the same time. One of the ones I purchased arrived about 2 weeks ago. 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was thinking these were lost, so at least I finally got here. Just some 3.5mm extensions. So these are TRS. This is 4 terminals there, which will suit the iPhone headphone jack, microphone jack. So you can plug it in and have a microphone into that on a longer wire, which is why I got them. Let's see what's in here. I think I actually know what's in here. Yeah, same thing. That's fine. That's what I thought it was. So I'm using it right now, and the light output is adequate. It's it does the claim 1600 lumen at the right distance. A foot or so away, it does that quite easily. And yeah, so I've got 2 of those. I've already got one set up. I'll be putting another one up. I'm going to put them side by side on my bench, so one this side, one this side. So it could give a nice even light across the whole bench, and I can probably and get rid of some of these things I've got hanging around. I've got lights everywhere, and it's just ridiculous. So, so it's supposed to be 9 volt powered, I'm running this one currently off 12 volt, but I've got it turned down so it's not maxing out the LEDs. Now all these little covers here, these actually come off quite easily. Now these have got just a couple of screws there, you loosen those off and it's like a clamped bracket on there, and it holds a pin which is going through the casing. So you loosen those screws off and it releases off that pin and you can just take it off. Yeah, dead easy. So that's what I've done with the current one because I don't actually need all these flaps in my situation. I put them to one side because I may use them one day. I think it's a 1600 lumen, wasn't it? That's what it said. Specs in the back there. Yeah, 1600 lumen. 16 watts. And the CRI 95, which is why I got them, because that's a nice CRI. I don't know. Is it okay? I don't know. I'm using other lights as well right now, and it's actually turned right down. I can increase the brightness. So it's fairly bright. Probably a bit too much actually. So that's the same thing. So that'll be used in my bench setup here, and I can tie up my lighting again. But I need to run another power supply. Just set up another power supply just for running the lighting. So I just flick one switch and all the lights come on. I did do one previously, which I ended up repurposing for something else after the flood. It was needed for something else. I've used that 12 volt power supply for another duty. So I don't actually have a 12 volt power supply for my bench lighting anymore. Well, not that same one anyway. I've got reverted to using a different supply. Right, so I've got a package here, so I should open this up and see what's actually in it. It arrived a few days ago actually, but I've been busy with other things, so I didn't want to open it for the mailbag yet. Now, this is another surplus auction thing which I picked up. So what do we have? We have a whole bunch of these yellow joiners, like crimp joiners, for splicing wires together, yellow ones, so they do quite large cables. A whole bunch of blue ones, which I actually use quite a lot of. We use a lot of blue ones. I'm not quite sure I'm going to use that many, it's like a lifetime supply probably. We have some red ones as well, a whole bunch of them, so I've got each size. Awesome. And we've got some insulated red crocodile clips, some uninsulated smaller crocodile clips, both red and black. This actually feels like quite nice. It's quite a nice spring on there actually. They feel quite good. And we've got some little hook-on clips. These are handy sometimes. Red and black. Just making your own test leads up. Some green and some white in there too. Or a white. A couple of green ones in there. That's alright. Insulated black ones. Crocodile clips. Yeah, they feel nice and strong. That's good. We've got some more red ones. I've got like a lifetime supply of these things now. Never have to buy any more. And what's in here? What is this one? These look interesting. What on earth is this? Some black parts. With some other parts. They're part of an assembly. Some more there. Some pins. Like some crimps. Bare crimps. Some springs. Some more plastic bits. Slightly larger ones. Some sleeves, like strain relief sleeves. And some more plastic bits here. I've got no idea what these are. I really don't know. Yeah. These look a little bit like they go over a cable to help hold them in, because they've got this knurled effect on there. And I'll try and get it in camera so you can see it hopefully. You going to focus there? Stop bouncing. Not really too close. But got like a knurled effect on there. So that's what you usually get when you've got a cable which is going to grab hold of it and hold on. And it's got these clips there, so a hole through the centre. And these are rubber. These are a bit like cable glands, I suppose. I don't know what they're for though. It's a mystery. These little bits here, I'll show you these. I'll get them so you can see them. Maybe you can or not. Yeah, I really don't have a clue what these are for. Springs, well, yeah, they'll be handy for something, I suppose. Quite strong springs. No, it's interesting. It's almost like those pins will go for these. These pins might fit in these things. There's two small holes in the ends. So I really don't have a clue. Get closer to these. Those rubbers in here might fit with these things, I'm not sure. Maybe. You've got like a clip on there to latch them in. I don't know. These will probably be useful. As for the rest of it, I don't know. These might be handy. These strain release. Might be used in some way. But yeah, I really don't know what these are for. If anyone knows, please chuck it in the comments and tell me, because I don't recognise these parts. Well, I've got a mailbag item here, so let's have a look, see what we've got. It's a power cable, 3 metre power cable. Nothing exciting there. Right, let's see what's in this thing. IC power, oh yes, right. I don't need these now. IC power sockets, Dion chassis. Now, I actually purchased these to go with as a potential for the back of my leakage tester unit. I purchased a few different versions of different, so whatever option I had, say if I couldn't fit a larger one on, I'll just put one of these on with internal fuse instead. But the one I ended up using has got a fuse on the back of it, which is better. So I'll still use these eventually, but I ordered them all at the same time, and these ones arrived a week later. Thanks to my Patreon supporters and everyone that's donated and that sort of stuff. And if you want to support me to help keep the channel going and help me to buy things from Mailbag, then please check out the PayPal and the Patreon links down in the description below. Click on the Show More tab. Make sure you click on the bell icon to make sure you get notified of any new videos that I do. And if you're not subscribed already, then please do. This is just a Mailbag video. Anyone that's been subscribed for a long time now, I also do electronic repairs and anything I happen to be working on. So anything I fix, I'll do a video on. Often it's electronics. I do a piece of electronic test gear or computers or whatever I'm working on at the time, whatever I need to fix. So you might find them interesting. If you are interested in seeing what I do, then look at my previous videos of about 400 odd. I think it's about 411 videos as of today, I think, something like that. Go and check them out.